Hi, my name is Carol, and I'm going to touch very briefly on a couple of different topics that seem to be garnering a lot of attention and on the internet and on YouTube. People wanting to know what is empathy, um, can I attract negative energy by meditating, are there risks involved in knowing about my past lives, and how to let go or to stop holding on to those things that are no longer necessary in our lives, that no longer serve a purpose in our lives. So I'm just going to touch briefly on those topics. If you have questions or you would like to know more, please comment below and I will do my best to answer those comments. If enough people have the same question, I will do a video on it. So, what is empathy? Empathy, in a nutshell, is the ability to feel something inside of your body. And that can be a feeling, it can be an emotion, it can be a thought. It can be a thought, though not a lot of people understand that. Thoughts can be feeling. And it can come from the earth, it can come from an animal, it can come from a rock, it can come from a tree. Empathy is a feeling thing. A lot of people, if you've heard the quote, negative vibes or positive vibes, you walk into a room and you can't stand being there just because the vibe is so negative, that is empathy. So, human beings are naturally empathic creatures. Some of us are more empathic than others. Has the ability to be empathic. Everybody is empathic to some degree, even if it's very, very minor. So if you are one of those people that has a high level of empathy, then you might find it very difficult to spend long periods of time around other people. You were probably happiest out in nature or with animals. And that's because nature and animals do not have an agenda. They don't have a desire for you to be someone or something that you're not. They're not usually angry. Or animals and nature are generally not tainted. Their energy is generally not tainted. Certainly, it can be. You can go out on a hike and you can come across a piece of land out in nature that has a very negative vibe to it. That is not the land itself, but is the energy that has been left there by someone or something who was previously there. Being an empath is not a negative thing, and it shouldn't be debilitating. I find that being an empath is quite exhilarating. I have had to learn how to understand it and how to work with it in order to affect change in my life and in my surroundings. As an empath, you have the ability, literally, to affect change around you, not just within yourself. In a nutshell, what it is just as you absorb the energy from people and your surroundings into your own body, you can take what is within you and project it outwards and not only share it with the people around you and your environment. If you really want to affect a change, to manifest something, you need to have it clearly set in your mind and in your heart and in your body what it is that you want to manifest. And you can then project it outwards and create that outcome. People were asking whether or not it can be dangerous to meditate and if there were risks involved in opening up to your spirit guides. So, in a nutshell, yes, there are risks involved, but that doesn't mean that you should not try it. Meditation is a really good device to quiet our busy minds so that we can start to open up to all of the other potentials that exist within us and within the world that we live in and our universe. And some people can even go beyond that. So when you meditate, you do not want to fall asleep while you're meditating, because it can leave holes in your auric field, but it can cause havoc in your life until you learn how to deal with it. So the number one thing is do not fall asleep while you're meditating. My own personal experience, when I first started learning how to meditate, and I fell asleep while I was meditating. And what had actually happened was that people that I knew saw me out and about at night, and it was usually at a bar. So the first time that it happened, I thought it was somebody that I did not know, and even though she insisted it was me that she saw out at the bar, I just chalked it up to mistaken identity. But then when people that I knew personally, friends and co-workers, were seeing me out at night, either at a bar or coming home from a bar, I started to worry. And this is when I was just waking up, so everything was brand new to me, 20 plus years ago. And so what I did was I started putting all of my clothes and my shoes and my jacket in one pile in one area so that I could see if I was sleepwalking. I couldn't think of any other explanation. People were actually seeing my physical body out at the bars and talking to other people. Formulated quartz helped tremendously to ground me, and I stopped falling asleep while I was meditating, and things got better. I wasn't tired anymore, and people stopped seeing me out at the bars at night while my physical body was at home sleeping. And the other thing is about opening up to spirit guides while you're meditating, and whether or not there can be risks with that. Again, very simply, the answer is yes. When you open up to guidance, it is very important that you say some type of prayer or statement, not a request, it needs to be a statement, that you are only inviting in the light and those with positive vibrations, because there are so many things that we can't see that want our attention. They want to be heard. They have their piece to say. And not all of them are positive. Some of them are going to try to manipulate you, and some of them are just going to play with you just for fun to see what kind of havoc they can wreak in your life. There is also the possibility that you can attract some very powerful negative entities and energies into your life by opening up for spirit guidance. So the long and the short of it is that if you're going to do that, you definitely need to say a prayer or make a very strong statement that only the very light and the very positive is allowed into your vibrational field. If you suspect that you have attracted something that is not of the light, that is a negative energy, then you simply stop meditating long enough to clear your field. And you do that with prayers and mantras. And there are other ways of dealing with that, but that's something for a different topic. So if there's anybody out there that is experiencing a lot of negative energy in their life, if you think that you might be under some kind of spiritual attack, please feel free to comment or send me a message, and I will address that topic for you. If enough people comment about that, then I'll do a video on it. So to sum all that up, if you're going to meditate and ask for spirit guidance, please, number one, do not fall asleep while you're meditating. Number two, ask for only the energy of the highest good for you at that moment in your life. Only light, only positive energy. The other side will try to come in and detour you and cause havoc in your life. It's not something that you need to be afraid of. It's a lesson in discernment. And as you begin to learn how to discern between the different energies that are around you, it becomes much easier and much less worrisome. You will, however, more than likely still have to take steps to prohibit the negative entities and energies from coming into your field, your vibrational field, while you're meditating or communicating with your spirit guides. So the other question that I wanted to address is about past lives. Is there danger or risk involved in knowing your past lives? I know that these days past lives are huge. I mean, everybody wants to know who they were in a past life, where they lived, what they did, were they somebody famous, etc. Caution should be used with that as well. So, my guides told me many years ago, 20 plus years ago, when I wanted to learn about my past lives, what they told me was, you can't deal with the issues in this current life. Why would you seek to know your past lives? Okay, I probably messed up a few words here and there, but essentially that's what they told me. So when I thought about it, okay, I have to agree with them. We have so many things that are going on in our current lifetime that, and we're having a tough time just dealing with those issues. You know, family relationships, intimate relationships, work, etc. So, and a lot of people are really depressed these days. So, where would the good come from learning about a past life when you are not capable of dealing with this current lifetime? Don't think that all of your past lives were beautiful and that you were a good person. Chances are really, really good that we all did something. I know I did. In my past lives, I hurt people, and just a lot of things. But those were all things. What I learned about my past lives came to me very naturally. I didn't have somebody tell me about my past lives. They all came to me very naturally in a moment when I was ready to learn about them. And granted, I don't know all of them, but I do know one lifetime that I will share with you, and it was back during the times of Atlantis and Lemuria, and I was a very influential person, and I had the power or the gift of persuasion in my voice. People listened to me, and they followed me, and they believed in me, and I could sway them. So what ended up happening was that somebody else told me something that they claimed was the truth, and I believed them without doing my own due diligence, and I swayed the masses to believe this other person, and it was very catastrophic. So for lifetimes upon lifetimes after that, I was repaying karmic debts to those people. And in this lifetime, the way that it manifested in this lifetime is that I had a fear of using my voice. I was literally afraid to use my voice. And the other way that that lifetime impacted me in this lifetime is that I have not ever, one time in this lifetime, taken at face value what somebody else has told me about spirituality or anything for that matter. I'm going to move forward just a little bit because the sun is going down here. Anyway, I've done my due diligence in this lifetime in researching and understanding all of my experiences and what they meant to me spiritually. And the reason why I've done that is because in that lifetime, I did not do it. And leading all of those other people to a disastrous consequence because I simply believed what somebody else told me and I didn't do my own research on it and I didn't experience it myself. So in this lifetime, I didn't do that, and I still don't do it, and I don't expect any of you to do it. And see how it feels to you inside. Don't just take it for granted that it's the truth, because you're going to do yourself a disservice. The best teacher is your experience. That is the very best teacher. We as Wayshowers, we can help you understand what it is that you are experiencing, and we can relate our experiences with them to you so that you can better understand what's happening. But I certainly personally, I don't want you to take what I have to say simply at face value. I would hope that you would do your own due diligence in trying to see if it feels right inside and if it meshes with your reality. So yes, learning about past lives can have a negative impact on you if you don't have a solid foundation here in this lifetime. So please be careful in seeking to know your past lives. Let's see. Oh, okay, so the last one, I'm going to touch on two more topics real quick here before I end this video. So the next one is about the ups and downs of the awakening process. I heard several people refer to it as being on a roller coaster ride. And certainly in my experience, that's exactly what it was like. You go up, and then you go down, and you feel good, and then you feel terrible. You understand, and then you're confused. Things are going great, and then things start going really bad. You get what you want, and then it gets taken away from you. Well, you're not alone. We all go through that when we awaken. And it happens for a while until you learn how to walk that path. And we're all going to learn it. You're all going to learn how to walk that path because that's part of what is going on in our world today. The entire planet is going through an ascension process, not just its people. So if the Earth itself is going through an ascension process, then that means that her vibrational frequencies are going to start to rise, which in turn will affect all of the living creatures on this Earth. The ups and downs of the awakening process can be lessened by grounding yourself just a tad bit more. There are a couple of things that you can do that are very easy. They're not cure-alls, and they're not meant to address the entire issue, but they are quick fixes to help you in a pinch, and for those who just don't have the energy right now to do anything more. That's tourmalated quartz, rutilated quartz, amethyst, opal will help. Jasper is really, really good, especially brecciated jasper, and that especially for those of you who are finding that you are opening up to a lot of other dimensions and voices. Brecciated jasper is a great stone for the healer and for channelers, in my personal opinion. Again, everybody do your own research. So a quick fix is to find a gemstone that will help ground you a little bit and help alleviate some of that stress. A good place to wear it is over your heart as a pendant. Another thing that you can do is you can get out into nature, and you can go hiking with a friend, with your dog, whatever, that's fine. If you're going to go do it to reconnect to yourself and to meditate a little bit, to hear answers from your spirit guides, then you shouldn't take anybody with you, including one of your pets, your dog, or your cat. My cat used to like to go on walks with me. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell for the ups and downs of the awakening process. You also need to make sure that you get plenty of sleep. Your physical body definitely needs that. So the one last thing that I wanted to address here is a question that I saw online, and this person wanted to know how to stop holding on to those things that no longer serve you. So essentially, it's about letting go. First, let me say that as a human being, we all find it difficult to let go and to stop holding on to those things that are trying to move away from us. And one of the reasons for that, probably the main reason for it, is that we as human beings are resistant to change. Change can be very difficult for us. We like constancy. That's why we stay at the same job year after year after year, even if we're not happy in it. It's the reason why we stay in marriages that we're not happy with. It's the reason why a lot of people don't move to another state or location. Human beings are creatures of habit. So any change in our lives can be traumatic, and for some people more than others. The thing here is to realize is that as far as I'm concerned, change is the only constant in life. Everything changes. It grows, it moves on, it goes away. It's all about change. And it's a good thing, because we cannot grow unless we change. And the key to that is adaptation. We need to learn how to adapt to our changing environment outside of ourselves and inside of ourselves. And so for years, I too had to learn how to let go of things, to stop holding on to those things that no longer serve me. And sometimes if you hold on to them for too long, they will start to pull away from you. Whether it's a human being, an animal, a home, a vehicle, it doesn't matter. It starts to be pulled away from you. So that's when things can become painful, is when it is pulled away from you. When things are taken away from you because you're holding on to them too tightly, that's when it can become painful. So I've learned personally that it's not really about letting go. It's about not forming an attachment, for me personally. That doesn't mean that you don't love, and it doesn't mean that you don't appreciate and enjoy the people in your lives, your home, the environment, your job. You enjoy them. You enjoy them all in this moment that you have right now, and you love them dearly and deeply. But you do not form an attachment that is so strong that you cannot let them go when it's time for them to move on. So when we hold on to something whose time has come to leave us, we do a disservice to ourselves and to them. Our lives are full of change, and we need to be okay with that. When we let go of things, it should be done in love. We should teach ourselves how not to hold animosity especially towards another human being who has found that it's time to move on. The only way that you can grow into your full spiritual potential is to embrace the change around you. And if you're going to embrace the change, then you have to keep your hands open and let go of those things that are ready to move on. If it's supposed to be with you, it'll stay there. It's not going to go anywhere. Know in your heart that what happens in your life has a divine reason.